Om Bhadram Karnebihi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhir Yajatra Sthirairangai Stushtavansastanubi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuh Swastina Indro Vruddashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starksho Rishtanemi Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In the Gaudapadiya Mandukya Karika, we are studying the Vaitatya Prakaran, and last time we studied up to Karika 32. We have yet to study its commentary. Now, what was there in Karika 32? The Prakaran is Vaitatya Prakaran. That means, in spite of our experience, Dvaita is unreal. And so, and why we experience like that? Because we are not aware of the real nature of reality. There is no other cause. And how we imagine? So imagination is done in so many ways, countless ways, of which Gaudapada has mentioned 35, and I said there are countless ways. Now they are philosophers, and these philosophers also serve as teachers. So they teach them to their disciples or students. And each opinion saves the disciple from being disturbed by other opinions. And finally, it may lead to his identification or union with that ultimate reality which he has been imagined. Now, after telling all this, so what is the conclusion then? The conclusion is that if all of them are imaginations, then what is the reality? What is the ultimate nature of the reality? Free from all imaginations. And that answer is given in 32. Na nirodho, na chotpattihi, na baddho, na cha sadhakaha, na mumukshu, na vai muktaha, iti esha paramarthata. And last time we had discussed quite a bit. Paramarthata means when we become free from all imaginations which are naturally imposed upon us. And when this will happen only in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So when we reach that Nirvikalpa Samadhi, then what we realize is called Paramarthata, that we have seen. There we shall realize na nirodho. That means there is nothing called pralaya. The other side of it is that so long as we have not reached the absolute, there is pralaya. We do experience pralaya of this world. Nacha utpatti. So pralaya has been taken first because we see the world and it will get destroyed. And what is destroyed will be made again. So when there is no pralaya, there is no scope of utpatti in the ultimate realization. Now that is about the world. Then what about the individual? We feel we are baddha. For all practical purposes, we are baddha. But if that reality, our real nature, is realized, then we'll understand that we were never Baddha. Not that we have become free now. When the delusion drops out, then when we realize our real nature, we find that it is eternal. It does not change. So how do we say that now I have become Mukta? And when there was nobody who was bound, so what is the name of Mukti? What is the meaning of Mukti? Mukti concept depends upon our Baddha concept. If we know in the ultimate reality that we are never Baddha, so the question of getting released from that bondage does not occur. And then, if we feel we are Baddha, then we feel we should come out of that bandhan. And if there is no bandhan, then what is the desire for coming out? So, namumukshu. First, Baddho nacha sadhaka was there. Mukta was not there. Na Baddho nacha sadhaka. That means struggler to get free. So if you realize we are not Baddha, then the question of struggle or struggler does not come in the ultimate realization. And the desire for struggle itself does not come, and finally getting released also does not come. All these concepts depend upon our Baddha concept. So from outside world, neither pralaya nor utpatti. It implies that there is no sthiti also. And about the individuals, no Baddha. And whatever is derived from that Baddha is not there. Sadhak, mumukshu, mukta. All this is iti esha paramarthata. That means this is the ultimate truth, ultimately real, if we realize it in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now, we read that direct commentary, and now what happens when everything is denied in toto? A man's practical experience shakes him. That is the Vaitatya Prakaran. Whole Vaitatya Prakaran is I experience. So up till now that you experience but not real, you experience but not real, and that has been completed in this. So in such a drastic statement, that again comes in our mind. When we say, this is not real, that is not real, we are told in the beginning of Mandukya Upaniṣad that Upavyakhyanam is there. That means everything is unreal, means past is also unreal, present is also unreal, future is also unreal, means there are so many details which are to be told to be unreal. So, like that, in the Vaitatya Prakaran, because that was already told, in Vaitatya Prakaran, that was rationally told. So, again, that problem comes. When such a drastic declaration is given, our experience comes in our way. So, these questions are coming. And we read here, Katham Utpatti Pralayayor Abhava iti Uchyate. How do you say that there is no Utpatti and Pralaya? Shankara has put it in proper syntax. First Pralaya and then Utpatti is not the proper syntax, though it is in the Karika. So, you know why that is so? Utpatti is U. And Nacha Utpatti Chotpatti. It combines into one letter. If we take Utpatti in the beginning, one letter will increase. So it is for the convenience of the meter. Though I said that Pralaya first, but Shankar clears it is not so. Utpatti, if something is not born, how it will get destroyed? So, Utpatti, Pralayayor, Abhava, Katham. How do you say that neither there is creation nor destruction? Iti uchyate. The reply is given, Dvaitasya asatvat. Because Dvaita is unreal. Subject separate from object, object separate from subject is unreal. So who will create what and who will destroy what? So that may be the appearance. That may be our direct experience. And yet that is not true. And how you say so? So the first Praman is Shastras. So he gives extensive quotations. Yatra hi dvaitam iva bhavati from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yatra hi means in a normal man's experience. Something like Dvaita he says, not real Dvaita. Dvaitam iva bhavati. Yatra, in common man's experience, Dvaita as an appearance comes. This is what the Shruti says. So they tell that it is only an appearance. Here, nana iva pashyati. The effect of this wrong knowledge. One who here in this world sees varieties, he does not see. Or he undergoes birth and death. So, that is the statement of Kathopanishad. On the other hand, Chandogya Upanishad tells us, Atma eva idam sarvam. All this which we see is, not was, is Atman alone. Or Atman was alone in the beginning. So that means even now it is only Atman. One reality without a second. Our own real nature, same as the real nature of the objects. So that is also a Shruti statement giving us the knowledge that though we experience, it is not real. Brahma eva idam sarvam from Nrsimha Purvatapani Upanishad, Nrsimhottara Tapani Upanishad, it is said that all this was Brahman only. And we always see in Vedanta, if name is given Atman, name is given Brahman. Whether it is the reality of all individuals or it is the reality of the whole world, it is one and the same. So same thing is told in the Brahma terminology that all this was only Brahman. There was no subject or object division. Ekameva dvitiyam in Chandogya Upanishad. So, ekam eva sat eva somya idam agre asit ekam eva dvitiyam. In the beginning, even today, was only reality or being, one without a second. So, second, third is denied by the Shruti there, by the Rishi's experience there. Ultimately, because Rishi is experiencing that, so he tells that. Idam sarvam yadayam atma, brethren. Idam sarvam, all this which we experience, yad idam sarvam yat tad I am Atma. So all this which we say is Atman only, is only the ultimate reality. Ityadi nana shrutibhyo. Ityadi means like this. There are many shrutis. Nana, in different context. All the shrutis telling that Dvaitasya asatvam siddham. So the unreality of Dvaita is established by all the shruti statement. And we have to honor that because Rishi's experience is there. Ultimately. Then Satohi, now logic, that is Shankar's method. Given the Rishi's experience, now common sense logic. Satohi utpatti pralayova syat na sata shashavishanade. If something is real, then only the talk of how it was born and how it was destroyed will come. If something is not real, like horns of a hare, that is only a word, but that is not real. So about horns of a hare, we do not ask how it was born and how it is destroyed. So, if it is real, then only this talk comes. One point, Dvaita. Na api advaitam utpaddate liyate va. On the other hand, if the reality is one without a second, how will it get born? It is one without a second. So there is no chance of its undergoing a modification called birth. And similarly, of getting destroyed. So from the point of what we see and from the point of view of reality. Advayam cha utpatti pralayavaccha iti vipratishiddham. If you put like that, it is Advaita and yet it is born, then it is self-contradictory. Okay? Yastu puna dvaita samyavara. So, we have to be told, what is this our behavior, accepting Dvaita? Then only the explanation will be complete. So he tells that, Sa Rajju Sarpavad Atmani Pranadi Lakshana Kalpita Iti Uktam. We already told that like the prana, adi, that is those 35 things mentioned, it starts from prana, Hiranyagarbha. So, like snake on a rope, in ātman, all that is imagined. Imagine means mind. In mind it is there. This has been already told. Nahi mano vikalpanaya rajju sarpadi lakshanaya rajvam pralaya utpattirva. So what is the idea in the mind? For that there is no destruction or creation in reality. It is the idea in the mind. Like we imagine snake in the mind, then there is no creation or destruction for it. Nacha manasi rajju sarpasya utpatti pralayova. So, in rope, the sarpa does not vanish. Sarpa is not created from the rope. So, exhaustive Shankar is making, then has it come from the mind? No. In mind also it has not come. In mind also it does not go away. So the sarpa is not born or dead in the rope. Sarpa is not born or dead in the mind. Then let it be in both places. He said, Nacha ubayato va. So these are some ideas about superimposition. Where from the superimposition comes? From the rope. Where from the superimposition comes? From your mind. Where from the superimposition comes? Partially from the rope, partially from your mind. So these are all different ideas about the superimposition. And what is the fact? We already told. Superimposition exists, that is the only thing. Fact is that. It has not come. If you find any reason or source of superimposition, it is not false then, it is real. So there is no source of that superimposition, it only exists in the mind. Tatha cha manasatvat manasatva avishesha dvaitasya. So, understood? From mind it is not created, but where it exists in the mind. So all the Dvaita exists in the mind. Avisheshat. That means in any theory you give, the existence is only in the mind. Whether it is produced from the rope, but it is in the mind. If it's produced from the mind, it is in the mind. If it's produced from both, it is in the mind. So you cannot escape its being in the mind. Now, how to say that in the mind so unreal? Nahi niyate manasi sushupte va dvaitam gruhyate. Niyate manasi means samadhi. Mind is held. Mind is held steady. Mind is held without vibration. Or in deep sleep. There is no Dvaita. So, being mental, it is unreal because in particular conditions of the mind, it is not there. If it would have been in the mind and real, how it would have gone away? Ato, therefore, mano vikalpana matram dvaitam iti siddham. So this duality is only an idea in the mind. So these two things are different. Created by the mind is different. Idea in the mind. Tasmat iti siddham means it is established. Tasmat su uktam dvaitasya asatvat nirodhadi abhava paramarthata iti. So it has been rightly said that because Dvaita is unreal, so Nirodha Utpatti, etc., are not there. Ultimately, Shankaracharya did here also.
Ultimately means ultimately
Paramarthata means ultimately. We have described it very much. In their vikalpa samadhi. When the truth is realized, then, not before. So, at the end of the argument, he has shown that it is about the absolute reality experienced in samadhi. The implication is that in other experiences, it is always there.
In the first paragraph, after the mantra, in the first paragraph,
first of the commentary, we had read that day, so I did not. No nirodha, nirodhanam nirodha.
The last line,
Utpatti pralayor abhavat baddhadayo na santi. That means first it is told that neither world is created nor destroyed. So, individual being baddha, etc. is not possible.
Therefore,
it has connected the two. That outside world is neither created nor destroyed. Then where is the question of man being bound?
Therefore, it is paramarthata. So it is said, iti esha paramarthata.
Iti paramarthata. There also it has been pointed out that this is about the ultimate experience. Otherwise, the fact of life, Baddha is there, Mukta is there, Sadhaka is there. So as facts of life, they are there. In ultimate realization, they are not there. So that was there, that is repeated now and then. Okay. So, now, some other doubts come. Though he has told them that this guru and all that is because fact is there that we see somebody teaching, but Jnate Dvaitam na vidyate. So that point comes again in this ultimate, because total everything is denied, so that thing comes again. Yadi evam dvaita abhave shastra vyaparo na advaite virodhat. So if it is like this, then Shastra can explain that Dvaita is not there. In Advaita, how Shastra will be there? So Shastra will be useful only in telling that Dvaita is unreal. It has no function in establishing Advaita. Because in Advaita, there is no scope of Shastra. So how will Shastra establish Advaita? Shastra can only tell Dvaita is not real. Tathacha sati, if that be so, Advaitasya vastutve pramana bhavat. Then who will tell that Advaita vastutva means real? Who will tell Advaita is real? If Shastra has no scope in Advaita, then who can tell that Advaita is real? Shunyavada prasanga. Dvaita is already unreal. Advaita to establish nothing is there. So it comes to zero. Dvaitasya cha abhavat. That means Dvaita has already been told unreal. And Shastra can function only in that Dvaita. In Advaita, Shastra cannot function. So who will tell about the reality of the Advaita? And Dvaita is already unreal. So Shunyavad comes. So that is the Buddhist argument. No. Shankar says all this thinking is wrong. Basically wrong. Rajju sarpadi vikalpanaya niraspadatva anupapattiriti pratyuktam etat katham ujjivayasi ityaha. He says, have you not already established that in Rajju there is a Sarpa Kalpana? It has to be Adhar of Rajju. Without Adhar, there is no Sarpa Kalpana. Niraspadatva anupapatti. It being without a base is illogical. Iti pratyuktam. In that way we already replied to your objection. How you are bringing it again? Ityaha. Ityaha means that opponent says now. The Siddhanti says, we already replied to this. How you bring it again? So he shows how I am bringing again. Ityaha. Rajurapi sarva vikalpasya aspada bhuta vikalpata eva iti drishtanta anupapatti. That your example itself we denied. We think that Sarpa is imaginary, Raju also is imaginary. Because we are seeing it, and you say that whatever you see is imaginary. No, this is only an example. But that type of thought comes. Why you are bringing it again? Because if Sarpa is not there, Raju also is not there. It is also a kalpana. So your drishtanta of Rajju Sarpa fails. That Sarpa is unreal only on the basis of Rajju being real is false. Because like Sarpa, Rajju also is unreal. It is also a kalpana. Shankar says no. Here understand? Na is Shankar's statement. Shankar is asking and he is giving an argument. So Shankar again says no. No, that is not real. Vikalpana kshaye avikalpatasya avikalpatatvad eva sattva upapattehe. That which is not imagined is automatically real when that which is imagined is removed. It does not require Shastra, it does not require any Praman. That which is not imagined, it does not require any Praman to show that it is real. It is real. Rajju sarpavad asattam iti chet. Same thing again. How it is not like sarpa, Rajju also? No. This thinking also is wrong. First, he said that Rajju can be like Sarpa. He said no. Sarpa requires an Adhar. He says your idea of Adhar also is Kalpana. Everything is unreal. No. Ekantena avikalpitatvad avikalpita Rajjo anshatvat prak Sarpa abhava vijnanat. Rajju ansha. That means the Rajju real part of the argument. Before Sarpa was imagined, Rajju was real. So whether you imagine Sarpa or not, Rajju is real. So the real part is before Kalpana, after Kalpana, so it is real. That means it is not dependent upon Kalpana, that Shankar says. Prak Sarpa Abhava Vijnanat. So, it is not that when you understand Sarpa is unreal, then Rajju is real. That is not fact. Even we are thinking Sarpa is real. Even then Rajju is real. Whether you know Sarpa is real or unreal, Rajju is always there. Even before the knowledge that Sarpa is unreal comes, Rajju is real, has been real. Always. Because it is not a part of Kalpana. So in the example, you understand this. Don't equate the two. That one is part of imagination, one is part of non-imagination. This you must understand. So non-imagined part is always real. Siddhatvad, that is has been established. Siddhatva abhivagamat, that means one experiences like this. One understands like this. Asatva anupapatti. So, it cannot be unreal. One understands that the Rajju is real even if the Sarpa is imagined or imagination is removed. Rajju is always real. So, because it is unimagined, so it being unreal is no logic. Okay. Katham punah swarupe vyapara bhave shastrasya dvaita vijnana nivartakatvam. Now the question turns that side. Shastra denies dvaita. On what basis Shastra denies dvaita? Unless it holds that Advaita is real. In Advaita there is no gati of Shastra. Then how Shastra holding Advaita to be real tells Dvaita is unreal? In life, this always Thakur is telling. When you realize everything unreal, then you will realize the reality. Because reality is reality, so everything is unreal. So it appears as if there is logic in a circle, but it's not so. Because as Shankar said, real is real. It does not depend upon anybody. And no, the question is, how Dvaita unreal we have to think. How Dvaita unreal we have to realize. So, important sting, Nididhasan. That means Advaita has to be held firmly as real, then only you can understand Dvaita is unreal. Dvaita, unreal, can be removed from the mind only on the basis of Advaita firmly held in the mind. This is clear. If there is nothing to hold, then Shunyavad. So, Dvaita, unreal, depends upon Advaita being firmly held as real. Though, how it is so when there is no Shastra to realize that Advaita is real? That is the question. Get this argument? That Advaita has nothing to prove. And without Advaita reality, we cannot feel that Dvaita is unreal. And for Advaita being real, Shastra is not useful. So how will it remove our knowledge of duality? Understand? Knowledge of duality can be removed only by holding fast to Advaita. Otherwise, simply unreal will not do. I have talked about negative realism sometimes. So, unreal, if you say, how to get it? Everything unreal. Unless we hold on to something real, where to deny? And how to hold on to something real? Shastra is not telling. That is the question. Naisha dosha. This is not a flaw. Rajvam sarpadivad atmani dvaitasya avidya. Again, like snake in the rope, another word he brings up to now, imagination, adhyastatvat, has been superimposed. Because it has been superimposed, so it can be removed. Superimposition cannot be without basis. And so, because it is superimposition, it can be removed. And so, reality will stand. How means? Describe what is superimposition. Sukhi aham, dukhi, mudo, jato, mruto, jirno, devan, pashyami, vyakto, avyakta, karta, phali, sanyukto, vyukta, kshino, vruddhoham, mama etat iti evam adaya, sarve atmani adhyaropyante. Everybody superimposes. Means for everybody the superimposition is there. Of what type? I am happy, I am miserable. So these are superimpositions. I am fool, I have been born, I am dying or I dead. I am jirno means old, exhausted. Devan, I have my body. Pashyami, I see. Karta. Vyakto, I am manifested, I am unmanifested. All the philosophical ideas. Karta, I am the doer. Phali, that means I will get the results of my action. Sanyukto, I will get joined with somebody. Viyukta, I will get separated from somebody in my life. Khino, I become thin or I exhausted. Vruddha, I become old. Aham, this is about I. And then my, mama ete, all these are either I or mine. Either I am the body or my body. And I am the body and all these people are mine. So mama ete has two meanings. That which you had called I also is called mine. And if that is I, then all this is mine. Ityevam adaya sarve atmani adhyarupante. So all this is superimposed on his real nature. Where it is superimposed? It is superimposed. So it does not change the real nature. Water is superimposed on sand, does not moist the sand. So Atman is real and all these are unreal. Because they are superimposition. Atma eteshu anugata. So Atman is immanent in all of them. Superimposition means they are superimposed on something. And that something is already there inside. In all these feelings, I am Sukhi, Dukhi and all these feelings, Atman is there. I am this. Sarvatra avyabhicharat, and that does not change. It is immanent in everything, and there it permanent is there. It does not decay or change. I am Sukhi will change into I am Dukhi, but I will not go. So all these attributes are changing, but I in that is not changing. Yatha sarpa dharadi vedeshu rajju. So here sarpa is given up and says this same rope is imagined in sarpa, is imagined as a jaladhara, is imagined as a crack in the earth. So in all this, rajju is always there. Imaginations differ, but rajju is always there. Superimpositions are different. Different superimposition. But the real nature is always there. Yada cha evam visheshya sarupa pratyasya siddhatvat na kartavyatvam shastrena. Visheshya, something which is told. Sarupa, its real nature. Pratyasya siddhatvat. Experience of the real nature of something is established. It is anusthit in all of them. So its experience of that is established always. So no need of Shastra there. Shastra cannot work in Advaita. Shastra is not necessary in Advaita. How Advaita is proved? Because Dvaita is a superimposition on something, so that something is already established. And during all the superimpositions also it is always there. So what proof you want for it? It is always there. Shastra is not necessary. Akruta kartrucha shastram kruta anukaritve apramanam. If something is not established, then Shastra is required to establish it. Akartru means not established here. Not karta, Akruta kartru cha. Shastram pramanam. Shastra is the means to establish something which is not established. Kruta anukaritve apramanam. If something is established, then to tell about that Shastra is not necessary. Apramanam, it is not a means at that point. Yato avidya adhyaropita sukhitvadi vishesha pratibandha eva atmana sarupena anavasthanam. So the question is, why we are not established in the real nature of the Atman? Because of superimposition. And superimposition due to wrong knowledge, avidya. Avidya adhyaropita, not I and you. Our ignorance itself has superimposed. Sukhitvadi vishesha pratibandhat eva. So, special, vishesha means specific, special. Pratibandhat, obstructed by that. We are not established in our real nature. We are not established in our real nature because it has been obstructed by the superimpositions, which are not real. Superimposed due to our ignorance. Swarupavasthanam cha shreyati. And being established in Swarupa is mukti. Is what is wanted, is mukti. Shreya means ultimate realization. So ultimately beneficial or mukti is being established in one's real nature. Iti sukhitvade nivartakam shastram. So the Shastra is removing from our mind the idea of sukhitva. Pleasure and pain. Ananda is different, that is Sarup. Atmani asukhitvadi pratyaya karanena. So what Shastra does? It removes the idea of sukhi, dukkhi, etc. And so, Atman is asukhi. Asukhi does not mean dukkhi. Asukhi adukhi. Atman is free from these feelings. How? It tells neti neti. That is what the Shastra is doing. This is not Atman or this is not the characteristics of Atman. That is what the Shastra tells. So how Shastra functions is still by negation of this superimposition. That which already exists, Shastra does not have any business there. It is already established. We are obstructed from that established thing because of the superimposition due to wrong knowledge. So Shastra destroys that wrong knowledge, and it has no business in our real nature. Our real nature is our real nature. Atma Swarupavat asukhitvadi api sukhitvadi vedeshu na anurutto asti dharma. Atma Swarup is inside everything. That does not mean I am not happy, I am free from that. We do not see anurutta. Atman is anurutta. So like that, all the characteristics we do not see as anurutta. That much Shastra tells us. Yadi anurutta syat na adhyaropita sukhitvadi lakshana vishesha. If already we knew that it is not sukhi, etc., then there would have been no superimposition. If that was also known, that Atman is free from sukhitva, etc., then superimposition would not have come.
Anuvritta means what?
Anuvritta means inside, immanent, included. Anuvritta, that means inside existing. So in all these things, Atman is anuvritta. But Atman's this character, that is not Anuvrutti. So that much Shastra has to tell. About Atman, Shastra has nothing to do. Atman is already there. But the characteristics of Atman are not known to man. So that much Shastra has to tell. Yatha Ushnatva Guna Visheshavat Agnau Shitata. Ushna is the characteristics of Agni. Coldness is not its characteristic. So like that, Atman's characteristics are absolute. These are not Atman's real characteristics. So that much Shastra has to tell. Tasmad nirvishesha eva atmani sukhitwadayo vishesha kalpita. So Atman is nirvishesh, absolutely free from any characteristics. So sukhitva etc. is imagined there. Yattu asukhitvadi shastram atmana tat Sukhitvadi Vishesha Nivrittartham eva iti siddham. So when Shastra tells us that Atman does not have this property of Sukhitva, etc., it only removes the wrong idea of Sukhitva. It has no business to tell about Atman. Atman is absolutely nirvishesh. But to tell that it is not like that, that much Shastra tells. Siddham tu nivartakatvat iti agamavidam sutram. So there is a sutra of those who know the tradition that the business of Shastra is to remove the superimposition. There is already a sutra. Okay. So in this way the commentary is exhausted. The ideas coming against this non-nirodha, etc., ultimately, so many objections come in the mind. And so one by one, Shankara has removed all those. Ultimately telling non-nirodha na chotpatti. That Shastra can only tell us not this, not this. That is what Shastra has done here. Non-nirodha na chotpatti. It does not tell what Atman is. What Atman is cannot be told. For that Shastra is not required. You are that Atman. So what Atman is not, that Shastra can tell us. Okay? This is the full commentary. Huh? Now, every karika here is very important. Now this interpretation, some people wrongly do here. Now I will tell. This is a very basic point. And we understand it through Thakur only. Bhavair asadbir evayam advayena chakkalpitaha bhava api advayenaiva tasmad advayata shiva. So we told so many bhavas which were not real. So in that way, the Atman was imagined. No, Atma is Advaya also is imagined. Understood? The difference between bhava and knowledge is told here. Today, the Guru may tell it is Advaita. You have not realized that. It is a bhava for you today. So bhava means in the mind. In the mind means kalpana. So it is the kalpana which develops into experience. That is a different thing, ultimately. So, first line, very important to understand that asad bhavas by asat bhavas, Advaya reality itself was imagined. And Advayana cha kalpita. It is also imagined as Advaita today. Today, Advaita is our imagination. Advaita is a bhava held by us. Just like other bhavas, they are unreal. This is real, but real bhava.
Bhavaihi asadbhihi.
Asad bhavas, by asad bhavas, Advaita was imagined. And Advaita is imagined as Advaita also. Means today, Advaita is not your realization. So today, I am telling that is called Advaita Bhava. Don't confuse with these bhavas. Advaita is also Bhava today. Advaita is also in your mind today. So, just like other bhavas are imagined, Gurudat also is accepting that. So, Guru tells you about Advaita and you conceive it, you get that idea. It is not your realization. Understood the first point? Now, Bhava api advaya naiva. That is another important thing. I have been telling you many times that these bhavas are the channels of feeling Advaita. So, Bhava api advaya naiva kalpita. Different bhavas also are imagined on the basis of Advaita. Bhavas are unreal, imagined. Advaita is imagined today. And all the bhavas also have been imagined on the basis of Advaita. What is the basis of a bhava? Advaita. That is very important. And Thakur says, Advaita Gyan Achale Vende Ja Ichhatai Karo. That is the basis. That we should understand any form of sadhana on the basis of underlying Advaita conviction. So today Advaita is a conviction. And all the bhavas have the basis of Advaita. They are only channels of reaching that Advaita. Their basis Advaita. So, Advaita Shiva. So, hold on to this Advaita, the basis of all bhavas. That is Advaita Gyan Achale Vada. Hold on to Advaita, the interpretation and translation of Viri. The real understanding in Thakur's light is this, that bhavas are unreal. Today they are kalpana for Advaita. Advaita also is a kalpana today. And bhavas also have been imagined on the basis of Advaita. So all through this, the background of Advaita is holy, is auspicious. That means, Shankara will tell, that means if you imagine something without Advaita as the basis, then that is bad. Tasmat Advaita Shiva. So the Advaita as the background of everything is holy, means if without that background you hold on to something, it is bad. This is the implication. Understood fully? So we have used Shankara also here. But people think Advaita only is good, all everything is false. That is not true here. So three different things are told and then conclusion. All the bhavas are today imagination of Advaita. Advaita also today is imagination. And all the imaginations also have the basis of Advaita. So hold on to that Advaita, that is holy for you. And the implication that if you miss that, then it is unholy. If you take different bhavas without the basis of Advaita, then that is going to ruin you, is the implication. That recent nonsense was going on, na? So some Mandaleshwar has replied to that. He says that you have one particular imagination and you are condemning everybody else's imagination. If your imagination is true, others' imagination also are true. And he has referred to Sri Ramakrishna. He says Sri Ramakrishna has experienced all the bhavas lead to the same goal, and you are talking nonsense without experience. So yours is an imagination. How do you say everybody should imagine that very thing? Understood? So this is this shloka. So we understand this shloka in the light of Sri Ramakrishna, or we understand Sri Ramakrishna's statement in the light of this shloka. Tie the Advaita knowledge in the corner of your cloth and do anything, means do any sadhana. Hold on to yatamatata. Hold on to as many faiths, so many paths, as many imaginations given by the Guru are good as paths if you hold on to Advaita. Okay? Hey, time over. So we'll get the commentary of this later on. So today we had the commentary of 32 and understanding of 33, proper understanding. Okay. Om Bhadram Karnebi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyayam Akshabhir Yajatra Stirai Rangai Tushtavanshas Tanubi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayu Swasti na Indro Vruddha Shrava Swasti na Pusha Vishwaveda Swasti na Starkshyo Varishta Nemi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Pranam, ma'am.